Out to the Queen, Nick, Raw Cannon. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the cannons. Nick is my co-host. As soon as her picture pop up, y'all can get to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's my sis. You know, her husband is my brother, the exec, Mal, the whole family, you know. So I have a bunch of people in here. You see it's a lot of people going on. We might have some more people showing up. I don't introduce anybody. You know what I'm saying? You have to introduce yourself. Because I don't want nobody arguing with me about not saying their name right, parents calling me, sending me in the death threats in the chat because I didn't produce the name that they took so long to give their child. I'm butchering it, you know what I'm saying? But no, I'm very big on identity, and a part of your identity usually actually starts with your name, you know, where it comes from. And y'all don't have to go into all that, but actually y'all do. Because that's usually the first question that I ask people, who are you? And although I want to know, like, brick and mortar where you might be at, or if you social media and all that, I think one of the biggest issues with black folk, my folk, and then people in general is, but black people, because I always say it as an issue with black folk, a lack of identity. So I normally ask that question because identity is very, very important in how we move in the world, how we're viewed in the world, right, wrong, or indifferent, who you assign to, who you are from, where you're from, that flag that you represent as being your flag is how the world is going to deal with you. Whatever the narrative is behind the Malawian flag, all Malawians are going to have to deal with that when they move around the world, and you find out you're a Malawian. Oh, y'all, yeah, because they looking at that flag, they looking at that language. So identity is extremely important. So we're going to start off by everybody telling me all your business. Where are you from? You know, what's your name? You know, kind of like why you here. I kind of want to know what religion you are. Are you married? Do you have sex? No, just so can everybody please just say who they are and proximity to what we're doing together? You know, so
should we start down there with the students?
So there go your mic. We can use the headphones if y'all want to be able to hear. It's only 3 headphones.
Can only hear?
Yeah, you'll just be able to hear yourself.
Oh,
it might make it a little easier for you to
all right.
talk. There you go. No, sit down. Use the mic or adjust it. You don't gotta stand up.
Okay.
I mean, do you want to get in the front and do it like that?
No. I'm just leaning in. I'm leaning into the mic.
There you go.
All right.
So it moves around. You can pull it to you. I do need you to get close to the mic so we can get all the content.
All right. I'll stand
there you
up
go.
with the mic. I'll take that mic. Sure.
Is it on? Are we on?
Hello?
Nah, it just push the button. It'll turn green. You should be good. It's on?
Yeah, it's on.
Ah, there you go. You go.
Okay. My name is Emma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
And I got involved with Good Energy Collective through a class I'm in that's about environmental justice in Philly. And we just came from this class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
I could tell she's smiling very hard. If y'all can see, she is excited. And I appreciate that because I smile a lot too. So.
Hi,
I can hear you.
my name is Ryuna. I'm a sophomore at Swarthmore College. I'm also a part of Good Energy Collective.
Mm-hmm.
Other than like for the event we're planning, I'm here because Jarue is the coolest.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hi, I'm Mac. I'm a sophomore at Swarthmore College from Tennessee. A long way away. I'm here mainly as a member of the Good Energy Collaborative, which we all are a part of, and we're going to be collaborating with Eddie's House, which Drew runs, which we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm. I don't run it. I just wanted to.
Yeah, run.
Shout out to Miss Marion.
Hi y'all, I'm Ariza. I'm from Kansas City. I started the Good Energy Collaborative about 2 years ago, and we're really excited to be doing solar and environmental justice workshops and programming in both North Philly and Chester.
No, that's it. So you said you started it?
Yes.
Can you give us a little background on that?
Absolutely. So the Good Energy Collaborative is a spin-off of a former organization called Serenity Solar, which provided access to solar installation programming in North Philly. And through Serenity Solar, they were able to solarize nonprofits and places of worship and farms in North Philly. So the People's Garden, Urban Creators are two of the most well-known installation sites. And then we were able to help 2 solar installers go through their training program. And so that was a really cool initiative that unfortunately had to take a pause and is no longer operating since the pandemic. And so the Good Energy Collaborative was really inspired by community partners who were involved in North Philly who wanted something to continue, but also wanted more focus on environmental justice and workforce development to help support the community in getting involved with resources, connections, and also other organizations who have similar missions and mindsets. All of us here are students at one of the TRICO colleges, so Swarthmore, Haverford, or Bryn Mawr. And so while we might...
Can you repeat that? What is it? You said it's TRICO. So TRICO colleges. Because I want to make sure, because I kept I kept saying everybody was from Swarthmore College. Like, these are the Swarthmore College students. And they were like, nah, I don't like Swarthmore like that. I'm from Brookhaven. It's like, no, that's not what was said. But please give us the 3 again so people can have an understanding.
Absolutely. So Swarthmore College, and then also Bryn Mawr College and Haverford College. And so while these colleges are out in the suburbs, there's a big initiative from all of the 3 colleges to really get involved with the community and partake in community-based learning. And so that's how all of us have come together with similar passions of being involved within the community and learning from community partners such as yourself. More important information than what we get out in a classroom, but rather being able to connect these theories we learned sitting in the classroom to the real world and how they're impacting community members on a day-to-day basis. And so all of us are coming in with those passions, but we're also coming in with resources from our institutions and access to research as well as funding we would love to use to collaborate with organizations in both cities.
They've given me more resources. Why would they do such a thing? So that is a very important part of this for me as a Black man and where I stand and the things that I talk about. I tell people this is a Black show. You're going to hear a lot of stuff about Black people. And, again, it goes into that identity piece. But what me and Miss Marion talk about, and she says so much, I like to call myself an information warrior based off of an interview that I read many moons ago. And what is the... I can't think of the name of the magazine. It's like a rock and roll magazine. But they used to have really dope articles in here. Like whenever I would go into this John, even if the music wasn't, the people that they got in there wasn't people I tend to listen to, these articles was dope. So they had an article about a guy, he was a consultant and he was an information warrior. And he woke up every morning, watched all the news from around the world, watching the stock market, watching who's having civil wars, and he would basically create an algorithm watching all of this information and come up with information to tell businesses, countries, politicians on what would be the next thing that might be happening in your country, to the point where I could predict that you're going to have an immigration problem based on your neighbor having a civil war. Where are those people going to go if it comes uninhabitable in that country? So once those people start coming into your country, how is that going to affect your country? How is that going to affect laws? How is it going to affect money? How are you going to deal with this? So I'm going to give you the information based off of what I'm seeing to tell you how you might need to approach it, the policies you need to come up with, how you get your people prepared, the whole nine, because within a year, because of this civil war, you're going to have an influx of refugees, and that's going to change your country forever. It's not, how we talk about things and it's like, oh, it's a momentary thing. No. When these folks come, not that it's a problem with them coming, but they're going to change the way your country operates forever, because it's always going to be, somebody is not leaving. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Like, unless we're going to house them for 3 months and then get everybody together and take them somewhere else, this is going to affect our country for the foreseeable future. So what he would do is, this is how he came up with all, like, he would watch all these different things going around the world, and it amazed the shit out of me. Like, this is what he get paid to do? To push information, and then you become so powerful that people, You can say things and people will just assume it because he said it. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be very nefarious about it and people can pay you to give misinformation now because your information is so trusted. So now you make yourself even more valuable because certain people don't want you to tell other people about what you know. So now you pay him even more money not to give that information to other people. So I'm looking at it like, well, shit, ideas run everything. Information runs everything. Everything else is predicated off of information. So going back to Eddie's house, one of Miss Marion's biggest thing is information apartheid. Black folk, that's what we dealing with. Most folk who are poor folk are dealing with that. But black people in particular. Information apartheid on all levels. Whether we talk about food, education, work, everything. Prison industrial complex, we can go into a million things. So that is our like big thing. And that's where the resources come in. So when y'all come around, I'm excited because I'm like, all right, I know how important solar is, but I don't know how to install it. You know what I'm saying? I know that my folks need jobs because Philadelphia is the poorest big city in America. And I know people don't like to hear that, but it's true. And it causes a bunch of things that you see going on in Philadelphia because of poverty. So now, not only have you coming to me with information, you coming with a way for people to get out of poverty by having a skill set. Even if you really, not saying y'all, but even if you really don't care about that community, you're just trying to get what you want to get out of it. Like, I'm trying to get my degree. I'm trying to become a professor. Not saying that that's something you told me, but, just watching you, you trying to become a professor. You need this real experience. You know what I'm saying? So even if you wasn't fair and balanced in why you were coming, I look at it like you still got information. You know what I mean? That's going to serve my people. You still have a resource, which is a skill set. And now people can be employed. Oh, and then we have the added bonus. We can actually be saving our own environment. You know what I'm saying? We can actually make our community more self-sustaining. So when you say that you bring resources, it's not like everything else. Y'all very cool people too. I appreciate y'all. But at the end of the day, when we really, when we're really honest about being honest and fair brokers, that's a beautiful thing to be able to have that conversation up front. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting this out of the deal. This is what we can bring you guys. How are we going to work together? And that's where we meet at. Long story to tell y'all, that's where we meet at. That's why we need to collaborate. So, is the professor thing true though?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, only because when I came to the class, I know Giovanna is the professor. And now that I know that you created I'm sure not by yourself. Or was it by yourself?
Not by myself.
Okay.
No.
So we always got to give people their shout out, their props. I don't like to say roses because I don't associate. I'm not dying. We all going to die, but not, no roses. It's okay. So I think this is dope. And that's the reason why I went into that whole explanation of you bringing a resource, y'all being able to learn from it. And then another point that I don't want to forget is schools were created for a particular reason. They were not necessary at one time. So when you say we taking people back into the communities to learn in real time, that's what we used to do when we lived off the land. You got all your science projects, you got all your health, education. You learn everything by being out there in nature and tending to your land. And then once we turn to an industrialized nation, now what do you do with the children? Because they can't work in the factories. We tried that. That's why child labor laws came out. But that was only because of that transition from being a farming society where you learn everything on your farm, like everything. You learned about the sun, the moon, the stars, water, photosynthesis, all of that you learned in real time by tending to your land. So school was not necessary. You know what I'm saying? You learned what religion was from your parents. You learned what a relationship looked like. People had their children at home, so you learned about being a doula, a pediatrician. You really did get all of these things from having to tend to the land and really have to be self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. And then you learn from the people around you. They might, the woman next door probably had 8 kids. You're having your first child. There you go. There go your information right there. You go over there and talk to her because y'all neighbors. And now she's going through this experience 8 times. You going through it the first time. It's like, all right, I have to talk to her. You didn't necessarily need to go to the hospital. That was your Google. You Googled her when you knocked on her door. Yo, you know, I'm about to have this baby. All right, girl, come on in. I done did this 8 times already. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate you in particular because I didn't know that you created it, you know, or had people helping you. And I'm very I'm very appreciative in y'all being honest brokers. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times academics, people, PhDs, they don't come into these communities with honesty. You know what I'm saying? And they know what they're getting. They know what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? Like you could literally become the preeminent thought, which will take care of generations of your family because you're known for that by the information, just the individual part of it. You know what I'm saying? That I did this study on homelessness in Philadelphia, in North Philadelphia to be exact. And now I'm the preeminent thought on homelessness in the city. And those people didn't get anything from that. You didn't even attempt. And then y'all know that goes on. So again, I appreciate that. And I'm going to always push that y'all be honest brokers. And I ask y'all to push that for me. You know what I'm saying? How we dealing with each other. So you had something else to say?
Just want to
My bad.
pinpoint. No, all good. That is a big mission of the Good Energy Collaborative, what you just stated. We're not here to, take over community organizations. You all are experts in what you all are doing. We see our role more as really forming that collaborative of helping build connections between organizations who are doing amazing work and who are doing like-minded work, and having the space and creating the space for collaboration.
Right.
We're facilitators from the outside, but we rely on you all to really guide and be the face of the initiative. And I think that's how we all see ourselves as students too, is really being the allies in terms of how we can support with the resources we do have access to and the time to build connections.
Definitely.
Since we know that the work of community organizers is hard work and time constraining and
Very
you all are
traumatizing.
busy.
It's very traumatizing. I think that, and that's an important part. Like we had a conversation about like doing canvassing work and passing out the flyers and stuff like that. And I was telling everybody, most people are willing to accept whatever assistance you're going to give them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to fight you. I know people get it's dangerous now. People know that you're trying to help in some way. They want it because they recognize it. It's something that we were talking about yesterday. Is like at one time people didn't really understand why they had the lot in life that they had. But now it's so much information. People may not fully understand all of it, but they have an understanding of the prison to the school to prison pipeline. That's something when I was young, even though it was going on then, my mom knew nothing about it. I never even heard the phrasing. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the the prison industrial complex, we see now that this was something that was engineered and another way the benefit off of people in a capitalistic way. Yes, people, it is crime and punishment. But then how much of that is actually being supported to employ a certain amount of people? You choose one group of people to help employ another group of people. You know what I'm saying? So now folks have language on how did they find themselves in the space that they in, and they're more willing. And this is me watching it in real time and being a part of it. Somebody else could probably say something else that does what I do or similar, but I think people are just more aware of. I didn't end up here by myself. This wasn't a total sum of all my mistakes, procrastination, laziness, whatever you're going to tell somebody of why they have the lot in life they have. Yes, they will. And people are very entitled because of this now too, though. So that's the flip side of it, of trying to bring people in. Somebody did something to you, but that don't mean you don't got to do nothing. That, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you're supposed to help me. They did this. Okay, I am. But you got to walk this with me too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's for me is where some of the trauma comes in at, where it's like, on one end, I'm triggered to do more. Where it's not like this thing where it's like, oh, I'm taking this home with me and it's going to affect me in a negative way. I don't necessarily feel like it's always negative for me. Whereas like I see this trauma, I recognize it. It makes me want to go harder because I understand too. You didn't do this by yourself. You didn't end up out here by whatever your malady is. You didn't do this by yourself. So even though I got to deal with it and see it and whatever its harsh reality is, You know, some children that don't have nowhere to go, somebody strung out on drugs, somebody have mental illness issues, whatever it is, it makes me it pushes me a little bit more to be like, nah, you gotta be out here. You gotta be out here, you know. And then on the back end, it's like the trauma part that's negative is, where do I actually cut it off at? Like, where do I recognize that I've gotten to a point where I've given this person all that I can give them and not feel bad about wherever that leaves us? Whereas, like, I might be able to get you some food, help you get a shower, line you up with a job, but I can't get you a place to stay tonight. And I can't let you stay at my house. Not because I wouldn't be willing, because I probably already got somebody staying at my house. You know what I'm saying? Or I need my space to be recharged and rejuvenated so I can come back out and possibly get you the housing tomorrow. But where do I stand where I can't get you nowhere to stay? I've done all. And for me, it's just, I did all, whoever you say the creator is, all that they gave me in that moment to be able to give you. And I'm going to be able to sleep at night. But everybody don't. But that's the negative thing for me, that I got to have that thought process. Like, damn. And then somehow, some way, I got to move on to the next thing. So when we talking about environmental justice for each one of y'all, because I don't want the professor, because she has her answers already prepared. She was reading them, studying them before. Like, nah, I kid. Yeah, but y'all don't know where that come from, neither do y'all. I'm not even gonna say. It's not something I want to even talk about. It's a puppet, though, a dog puppet. He was very vulgar, and that's what he used to tell little dirty jokes and be like, I kid. But we're not gonna go there. So, in terms of environmental justice, right? And you got an opportunity to walk around the neighborhood. I don't think you two made it.
No.
Shouldn't have let y'all come on the show. It's like, nah, but since you got the experience of walking around the neighborhood a little bit and seeing it, and, you know, I give people my little light history lessons, my business, you know, what's going on culturally and all that stuff. But what is one of the things that stands out to you that you like as far as environmental justice is concerned, that you could see instantly, like when we walked around? You know, maybe something I missed, maybe something we even talked about, but what is something that was salient to you, like, if we could change that, this might be a little bit different, you know, knowing that it's not a panacea with anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'd say one thing that just strikes me most is that, like, when you are present in the community, offering yourself as help, not as a paternalistic figure, but as someone who really wants to be there, like walking on the street, canvassing, people in the community are so happy to work with you. I think there's so much, I guess, we learn in school, and like I attend Swarthmore College, that kind of implies that there's resistance to good things in places like North Philly, when there really isn't. I think it's just kind of a resistance on the part of institutions like ours to actually go. And that's what the Good Energy Collaborative wants to do, I guess, is to go, help, listen, and try to find environmental justice that way, because, like Riza was saying, local communities know what environmental justice looks like. Yeah. And we don't really. At least we want to listen.
The thing that you said that's important, and I want to make sure that we, like, if you're doing one of the things that I learned early in doing, being an activist, a community stakeholder, whatever name you can come up with, like community organizer, outreach specialist, whatever, you always got to listen to the people first. And that's not a one time that you visit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might make the first couple of times just like, we just want to listen so we can make sure we got down what you're saying. Before you might got 1,000 ideas. Probably know they're going to work. Probably did it already. But you need to give those people the wholeness of allowing you, because a person is always, even if you did it before, because I experienced this. And I'm like, if you just shut up and listen, this is going to work. But when you coming from spaces where people, now, like I said, they do kind of know that it's been a game played with them, and they live in that game in real time. You know what I'm saying? They want to be heard. Even if you know everything they about to say, you got to hear them. That's why I say, like, we can come in one time and listen and be like, all right, we already knew all the things they was going to tell us anyway, you know, and be right. But you probably still need to go down there and have a conversation with them again. And maybe one more time before you decide to do whatever you think you're going to do that's going to work and that's going to help. You feel what I'm saying? That's very, very important. When you said go down and listen to the people, let them tell you what they want, because a part of you helping to make them whole, or, you know, get on their healing journey, or repair a community from whatever ailed that community. You want to make sure the people are able, because that's one of your resources, because that's a big thing. People are not being heard. So when you hear that about people are resistant, you know why they normally are? Because somebody is coming and telling them, I got all the statistics, you know, I did this work before in another place, and you going through all of these different things, and you're not listening to what this person is going through. So that's why they're going to be resistant, because you coming in, and especially, and that's a part of cultural competence. We could talk about that at another time, but especially if you're somebody that doesn't look like them. You know what I mean? You can't play, because that's where resistance comes from too. Mm-hmm. I have an innate distrust for somebody that looks like you. And instead of you being offended by it, you might want to look it up and see why you look like the person who is the slumlord, is the bad cop. And just to let y'all know, if you are a good cop and you still on the force with bad cops, for me, that makes you a bad cop too. Because you're in the locker room, you're in the intimate spaces at work with this guy where you know how he gets down, or she. And if you standing on the sideline just not participating, but you're a cop, you should be investigating these motherfuckers too. Your comrades. So that's not really a question for me of good cop, bad cop. No. If you're on the force and you know these things go on, that should be prosecuted, investigated, interrogated the same way you would come to my house and tell me that I had drugs and a gun and all of that stuff, and this was supposed to happen to me. So, but back to what I was saying to you, even if you look like somebody different, because that's what we're seeing. When I see you, I see the governor who doesn't do anything. I see the racist guy on TV saying whatever racist shit he's saying. I see the person, like I said, the cop. I see the principals who's trying to treat my daughter like she's 30, but she's 10. Because he doesn't have a relationship with this little black girl. He don't connect with her in that way. Now you acting like a grown woman, so I'm gonna treat you like that, even if he ain't saying it. But that comes from whatever, and it ain't just got to be based on color, because it could be classism, it could be sexism, it can be ageism, it can be all of the isms. But you may trigger an oppressor. You know what I'm saying? So why would I listen to you? You trying to trick me? And then where the pushback comes is that you're not trying to be honest and patient with why this person is feeling like this. Because what you're going to keep telling yourself, I'm just here to help. These people don't want any help. And then you're going to run back and tell, people don't want no help. Yeah, no, they don't want it. And y'all going to theorize and intellectualize that. And then when the class comes in, they're going to be like, the people who need help, they're not going to be resistant to you. And then you come out here with Jarue and they smiling like, yo, come back. We love you. It's like, so I will pass the mic, and I want to know again, how does environmental justice, like, what is the thing you want to change? How do you see this? Like, what is your part you're going to play in it? Like, tell me something about why environmental justice is important in this moment in time with you being here in this class.
I think environmental justice, I really echo the point made by Mac and you, Jarue, about like it's really all about bringing people back in the discourse, because like pretty much I believe like the political discourse decision making is done in abstract. It doesn't really, like, how can you make those kind of in unjust decisions if you know that it's someone just like you who's being affected by your decisions, right? Mm-hmm. And also coming in with Giovanna's class, perspective from Giovanna's class, I feel like environmental justice is unlike a tool to help you contextualize yourself within like the broader history, like structural injustice, for example, because as you mentioned, it's easy to blame yourself for something that's happening to you, but if you contextualize what you're going through, that might not always be your fault. It might be something institutionalized that you didn't notice, and you need like that kind of connections to like break through the problem you're facing. So I think that's like environmental justice is not about like nature, but also like how you see, how you like approach a problem, or like just any tiny things, like try an approach to see it in a broader picture, not just like one thing.
Like your just actually your environment.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I know what you're saying. I'm glad you made that point too, because it's one of those things. Somebody here environment. Oh, y'all talking about hugging trees, and you know, what is my carbon footprint, and you know, the refrigerator and the air conditioner is putting a hole in the ozone layer, because you know they got certain things that they just wrapped it around, and we know us 5-6 people come into a room, we just infected the environment with whatever we brought in it. No trees, no air conditioner, you know what I'm saying? No, none of that. But when you came into that environment, that space, we all changed it. Maybe how we smell, maybe how much noise we're making, you know, how you feel what I'm saying? So when you say that, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people can contextualize it and look at it as just, oh, these are the tree hugging people. Like, no. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? We need to get that car off your block that's all beat up, because y'all come out, y'all see that that car is there, it's destroyed, and that's how your community starts looking to you. And then that's how you start acting on your community. That had nothing to do with hugging a tree. It's because you have 4 abandoned cars on your block, so people who come through the block, and when you come out on the block looks bad. It looks like it's not worthy of anything because these things are here. So I'll throw trash into the abandoned car. I'll throw trash around the abandoned car, until I'm throwing trash all up and down the block. And now as I come out, it's like, look at this community. It's not worth anything. Why should I put anything into it? And then that affects your behavior and how you really start acting on that block. Because I remember we would go on certain blocks to fight. And certain blocks, we wouldn't go on those blocks. With the trees and all that, and the people take care of their house. And you can't. We didn't know that those were just homeowner blocks. But we knew this is not the block, because we're going to get in trouble if we fight around here. That's environmental justice. Because those people took care of their cribs, because they swept outside their homes, because they decided they wanted trees, and they got into their whole, we want to put a little pond in the in the front lawn, and that turned into a competition, and then your pond got lights and mine got special rocks. But people understand that this block is taken care of in a certain way, and they act a certain way when they come on the block because of these things. So I'm glad you said that, because that's a point that people need to understand when we start talking about environmental justice. We're not just talking about the ozone layer or pollution. All those things are important. The sea level rising. All the shit that y'all was really making documentaries about and arguing, talking about, it's not real. And now I'm sweating in November. But listen, I'm not going to go on another rant.
I want to make like a last point for all of you guys listening to Jarue's podcast. Like, if you have some kind of, if you're going through some kind of emotional distress, if there's like a small problem that's bothering you, I want you to do yourself an environmental justice by connecting with the environment, the historical figures, like the people around you, and like I'm pretty sure that you can like find people who can talk through, who had gone through similar experience. So yeah, be sustainable to yourself, guys.
I like that, because that sounds like track therapy upstate. Because I couldn't pay for a therapist. You know what I'm saying? The people who were the therapists were really trying to make me go out of my mind. They wasn't really trying to help. So I would come out, and I had to be vulnerable with my brothers. And all my brothers that I walk the track upstate with, y'all know what it is. I love all y'all. But you would have to, like, I had my elder Sikambuzo, my brother Zuberi, my brother Duke. I could just start running down names. My brother Mile. And it was like, bro, she ain't answering my calls no more, bro. And I would have to talk to this boy for 2 hours and be vulnerable. Or it could be something serious. Somebody passed away. Or I'm just not feeling it that day. And we had to reach out to people who probably had time in. And if it's something that's going on systematically, like with some law stuff or something, I could reach out to them and be like, bro, you've been through it. You've been going through this. And they would give me a perspective. And then I had my brother that just came in with me. We all figuring it out. So our problem seemed so fresh to us. You know, and maybe the old head, he kind of giving me the vibe like, bro, get over it. Because he done went through it. But I don't need to hear that right now. So I'll go to my man, and he in the middle of it too. Like, yeah, man, she wrote me, but she only wrote me like 1 page, and I know something going on because I usually get 3-page letters, man. Something is not right. But you can't just be in your head because that'll drive you crazy too. So we got to talk about it, and we got to walk the track with it and probably do some pull-ups and probably do some push-ups, and then maybe somebody from another block jump in the conversation, and then we having an overall conversation, and it bring you back to where you need to be in that space. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about prison and being able to have people to talk to, which we social by nature, so it's something I remind people of all the time, where you hear about solitary confinement in prison and stuff like that, and why people lose their mind. And it's a very basic thing, because we're social by nature. We absolutely need to talk to each other. If you don't talk to another human being for stretches of time, your sanity slips. It's proven. It's no around it. So what that tells me is I need to talk to people. I have to. That's mandatory, that we have to interact. Because if anybody gets ostracized, you're going to lose your mind. And that, for our African ancestors, was the most major penalty, to ostracize you from the group. It wasn't to kill you. It wasn't to go tit for tat. It was like, you have done something that you no longer can get the benefit of socializing with the rest of your group. And that would, that was, nobody wanted that. Who wants to leave their family? Who wants to leave everything that you're familiar with? So that's the penalty if you go against the society. You can no longer be here, and that was the ultimate penalty. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you bringing that up, that environmental justice is not just being in the forest and all of that good stuff. It's not. Those things are very important, but it's not just that. So you got to cheat a little bit. You heard everybody else.
I know. I have my time. But I want to double down on that, and I hope I add something new too.
That's what's up.
But I think that the status quo benefits so much when we feel isolated, and so of course building community is a prerequisite to whatever kind of change you're going to make, and is a prerequisite to feeling like you're capable of making change. You need to feel like you have support, and you need to know that there is this potential to organize. And I think we also need to, and this is something also that, Drew, I've heard you talk about before, like create our own narratives, because there's this huge, I think we have to be really careful, really responsible about where we get our information from. And we need to do our due diligence with, how we make sense of news stories and our understanding of stakeholders in environmental matters and all manner of social justice matters. And a huge part of that is storytelling, and not just accepting the kinds of narratives that are offered by media conglomerates, but like by community members. And that's something that Giovanna talks about a lot in our class, like just starting with storytelling and how rich that is, and how just how much knowledge there is just already embedded in community, and how much you could do with that alone.
Nah, that's a beautiful thing from this standpoint of you when you do this work, right, and you realize, again, we live in a capitalist society. And y'all can't see, but I feel kind of funny because I'm having a bad hair day, and I can't I didn't shave my head, and you can't see it on there, but it looks a little crazy. It feels a little crazy. I feel like y'all staring at the side of my head where the hair is growing at. I've been
looking at it nonstop. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, so the point that you make, that's very, very, very important when you do nonprofit work, is you gotta realize, one, all the money has blood on it. There is no money being made in America. And some people call America a criminal organization. I tend to agree. I'm just looking at the history. We can straighten that up. We can fix that, but it is. So, and shout out to Greg Carr. One of these days, Greg Carr is going to come on my show, y'all. Because he lives in Philly. I watch his show, and I'm not going to forget, but I got to get a shout out to him because he's a professor at Howard. He's a law professor, a historian. I only watch one other podcast, for real. I check in on a lot of other people, watch segments, support them and all that. But I'm just being honest. The only other one that I watch from beginning to end is In Class with Greg Carr and Karen Hunter. I always forget her name, and I remembered it. And I watched the Karen Hunter show. But Greg Carr always talks about being in Philly and how he goes back and forth to D.C. So I could do some Go just be down 30th Street in the morning. He's a very tall guy. I'm sure I could find him. I'm not gonna do that. It's a little weird. But at some point he's gonna see he's gonna see the show. He's gonna see the stuff that I talk about, and he's gonna pop up. But all of the money has blood on it. The people who would fund you already accounted for you. So if I'm giving away food and I'm really serving food insecurity in a particular area, right? I might get money from Brown ShopRite. He may fund it, right? But what he did as a part of, if he's connected to a farm or not or anything, he's accounting for how much pollution he's putting into the system and how much he wants to charitably give back. So the same people who are causing the problem, I'm not saying Brown ShopRite, but I'm pretty sure he makes those calculations too. We're just gonna be honest about money and how it flows. And if you make a certain amount of money and you're in certain businesses, what's going on? It's like if you're making clothes, 9 times out of 10, unless you make your clothes yourself, wherever you get them from is probably a sweatshop. And we can probably argue that you shouldn't be supporting them. You know what I mean? But it's so far away from what we're talking about, most people not even gonna care. We hear it, it kind of goes off back there, but it's not in the front of anything, so we still gonna buy those jeans. You feel me? So that same person who may be selling those jeans may give all of this money to sweatshops to support whatever the issues are that come from people who working in sweatshops. But you made a calculated risk. You said, I can make 30 million selling them, and I only got to give 5 million. And it sounds like so much. And I done did so much charity that I supported these sweatshops with 5 million of my hard earned dollars, because you calculated it already. And you knew at the end of the day, I'm going to make 20 back. You feel what I'm saying? So, well, what you saying is being able to make these decisions and navigate that the same people who are causing the issue may wind up funding you. And what do you do with the money? Are you supposed to take the money? These are the issues, especially as a black man, that I'm still grappling with when I'm talking to other black people. Like, how you deal with them? I'm saying that to black folks, how you deal with this person? How you deal with them? So I had to understand that is a revolving door kind of conversation, because all the money got blood on it. You feel me? All of it. It's not one thing that is all of it. Seriously, I really be wanting people to get, like, it's no clean money in America, y'all. I'm sorry. It's all about morally. When you have the position to be dealing with money, whether you get it from donations, you get it through grants, it's for profit, however you get it, now what are you doing next? In a real, very honest way. Do you want to celebrate yourself? Do you want to buy some stuff? You got to be careful of materialism. Don't get too caught up in that. Those things that you want to buy for yourself, you do deserve them. You did work hard. And how much is this going to have for your image? What you buy and who you get your money from, the people that you say you're trying to help, that you standing in front of. Because that's going to be a real question. So what are you going to do with it? Morally, what are you doing? You have to make that decision before you take your first check. Because now you've been told, y'all three in particular, y'all have been told. So if I see you somewhere you ain't supposed to be making money, I'm going to be one of the first people on the front. She is a fraud. She's not real. We had this contract. No. But I'm just saying, be very mindful, because all the money is blood, contaminated, whatever word you want to use, tainted. The school you go to, they doing one benevolent thing on one side, and they doing some nefarious shit on the other side. And you love your alma mater, you know what I'm saying? Like, but these are the things that you have to really be conscious about if you really saying we doing environmental justice work, or if that's what we really want to do. Or I might just want to, hey, this might just be something. It's a hobby. You know, all of that needs to be hashed out. So that point that you make about you got to know where you stand, what story you telling, what narrative, are you being honest with your narrative? You know, like I said about y'all being honest brokers. So when I tell my story about me working with Swarthmore, you working with them folks, they really about to, listen, they've been honest brokers to this point. We've been very honest. The narrative I'm going to tell is based off of what you do, and vice versa. So that is a really important, all the points y'all made are extremely important. But that's one on, for me, it's more like a personal thing when you trying to navigate, am I doing the right work? Because you're going to come to that. If you doing anything where you trying to help people and you going higher and higher up and you hearing how people talk about people like they not people, like they abstract, when you start getting into those abstract conversations, people stop being people. And now you trying to figure out, am I really helping? Do I really know what's going on the ground floor? Because it's like, if you have a certain skill set, you can't stay in the field forever. They need you. They need you in the administrator. They need you to be doing the paperwork. They need you to be making policies. You might not be able to touch the people all the time like we all want to. We need some people thinking in the abstract. But we gotta, but those are just new ideas, new innovations to make us do what we do better. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what, because you might get in, you be like, nah, we really gonna help people. And they like, people don't really want to be helped. This is a numbers game. I'm gonna clear 6 million next year. Yeah, I help 400 people, but I don't really see them as people. I just see them as numbers. Do you have a place for that person? Because they might be damn good at what they're doing under your leadership, because you're going to take them and make them do what's the right thing. All they care about is the numbers and getting their money. So that's a personal thing. It's the difference between building community versus building an organization. And how do they marry? You know what I mean? Some of the people you go into the community with, you're going to be building community with them. Some of them, you just working with them. And y'all got the same goal. And sometimes we get that kind of confused, and that becomes an issue. So that point you made, we can go into a whole lot of stuff, because how they give you more money to get you out the lane because you're doing too good of a job. And you thinking it's an accolade. But really, they just want to get your ass out the way. You fucking up the money. So we going to give you some money so you don't mess the money up even more, because you really doing this from the heart. We got one of them, because you're going to come in rooms where you the only one that care, and you're going to hear it. The shit that they write down sounds real beautiful. And then you get in a room and have a real conversation. I hate everybody. I'm just a good writer. You know what I'm saying? I make it sound great. So I don't want to go too far off. We need another seat for the young lady right here. This is the young lady.
We have to go soon.
Yes, and I'm glad this is panned out, huh? So this young lady right here, she's going to tell y'all who she is. I'm excited. I'm very honored. I really respect it. I appreciate it. We've been trying to make this happen.
Yes, we have. Hello, everyone. I'm Sabria, and I'm the owner of the Brown Sugar Shack. And I had the idea of a plant-based fast food restaurant when I was living in D.C. and decided to bring it back home to my hometown in Philly, where I was born and raised. And we opened up our first restaurant at 15 Susquehanna. So
I'm going to do this little shout out, and she going to get a little into it too. I'm going to, y'all see how I got those hard-hitting questions, you know what I'm saying? You see how I do it? I do it. Like, and I love to laugh. I'm a clown for real. Jokester, all of that good stuff. So the first part of it is, I was going down to Hibiscus. Shout out to my brother from Hibiscus. I'm gonna definitely have him on the show. And one of the things, environmental justice. It's on 49th in Baltimore. I go in there regularly. I eat there, and I live in North Philly, so I'm in there regularly. I take everybody in there. Anybody that's around me go in Hibiscus with me at least once. So that was my main vegan spot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I go all down West Philly to get the good stuff and all that. And he has an issue right now where he has people who make a lot of like sea moss drinks and different types of like chlorophyll shots and all those different things that help you, with your health in a very organic, holistic way. I don't like saying alternative medicine, because that's some shit that they coined to make it seem like it's something different, when the synthetic shit is the shit that's not really good for you. So anyway, I come in the store, he has nothing in his either freezer. I'm like, damn, what is sea moss joint? The FDA came here, Jamaican brother. I was about to try to do some pot. Well, I ain't gonna do that. But Jamaican brother, he said, yo, man, they came in here and took all my stuff and said it don't have barcodes and it's not approved by the FDA. And it blows my mind, because he lives in a very progressive area. He lives in a university city. Penn is a lot of those good progressives that come into his joint and buy his food. And I'm like, how are they not in the front line with you? Because these things help people. You have no track record of anybody being sick, anything like that. People come in for medical issues and use your stuff, and you have that documented. So I don't see how those progressives in that area would allow him not to have nothing in his freezers when it helps us. Period, point blank, it helps us. And he's never had an issue, and it's done changed. The ownership was changed over. It remained the same. I think the brothers is related, but it's been around for a while. They've never had an issue with their food, ever. Nobody never got sick from a drink, even an allergic reaction that I've ever even heard of. So I think people need to get more on the front line to make sure that this place that's serving our community with healthy food can have a full freezer of stuff. What you want to put Pepsi in there? That's FDA approved. It's proven to kill us. That's what the FDA do. Read about them. Look it up. Watch Food Inc. Food Inc. can tell you what you need to know. Stop shying away from the information. So, because I was looking for another vegan spot, I forgot somebody told me that you was around the corner. They had never been before though. They just like, yo, it's a vegan spot around the corner, you know. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going around there. So I bring my folks around there. Of course, I start running my mouth. She was very willing to run her mouth with me. We start talking. I come to the John, and I'm like, yo, this is dope. We gonna find a way to work together. I'm gonna have you on the show. She came around to the center, brought her folks around there. So she's one of the people that seen the center moving in a certain direction. One day you come and look this way, you come back again. It's like, oh, y'all, there's some stuff going on. So with this collaboration, I had an opportunity because I felt like if we talking about environmental justice, we need to be eating healthy food. If we serve, we bringing people in to tell them about solar and how to sustain the community and how us being healthy is a very important part of environmental justice. So we want to serve good, healthy food. And my sister, the queen, she just obliged, y'all. She ain't even asked me a whole bunch of questions. Like, she just was like, what you need me to do? I thought it was kind of real. I didn't think it was real. I called her back like, listen, you like, are you gonna do this? I don't want to say this in a way like I don't believe you, but are you really gonna do this? And we haven't talked about money or anything. And then, you know, I told her I was very upfront and honest with her. Like, I didn't know if we really had it in the budget, but I would greatly appreciate if she could just do it for me. Like, if she could just come in. And she was like, yeah, I got you. We gonna do some vegan cheesesteaks. We gonna do some pasta salad, right?
Pasta and
the meatball subs. And I was like, dope. And she's right around the corner. So it even gives to, we supporting a black owned business that gives healthy food in our community, and she's really showing y'all how she's doing it as a resource. And I really appreciate that. And I don't want to forget this because we didn't say anything about tomorrow. Tomorrow from 5 to 7. 2321 North Broad Street, Cornerstone Drop-In Center. We will be doing it in the event space. Come learn about solar as a career, learn about solar as the importance to our community, the black community in North Philly, why that is important. We have 10 spots, correct? If I'm not, I don't want to put you on the spot. We got 10 spots?
Right now we can accommodate 10, and
Okay.
there is a potential to accommodate more students.
Okay.
That is to sign on for the solar installation classes at Hunting Park Community Solar. We're working with a collaboration of a few organizations alongside Eddie's House. And so if you can't join this cycle, this is a pilot to see how this collaboration works between these wonderful organizations. So in the next cycle, there will be a spot for sure. And any sort of feedback or other programming we can do, we're working with Eddie's House to see if we can build a solar lab there as
Yes,
well.
indeed.
And so we would love
A sustainable garden. My bad.
sustainable garden,
Outside
solar lab.
of Cornerstone.
Yes. And so there's so many ways to get involved within the solar industry, within environmental justice, and tomorrow's event is just to connect and get people together.
Like my sister doing for me is another way to show that she in the community, because I really don't think enough people know that you exist around there, and it's a lot of us who do want vegan options, and it's really nowhere to it's not a food desert, because y'all don't know, it's a farm 2 blocks behind Cornerstone between Dolphin and York, a whole farm. Fully functional, doing any solar. They got corn around there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They got corn around there. They got the what's the stuff that you use? It's that, you know, you make your own dirt, basically. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Fertilizer?
Nah, it's fertilizer, but it's a name.
Yeah,
Compost.
compost.
They make compost. They got the chips. They show you how to, 2-part chips, 1 part the waste, the food waste, and you put it together, let it cook up, and you can get some black, what they call it, black diamond or black gold. It's fertilizer. I've seen it. I had it. I built it. You know what I mean? They showed me how to do it. So we have a fully functional farm that you could actually go buy stuff from. They do events there, the whole 9. Life Do Grow Farm or Urban Creators. They're called both names. Swarthmore College has a connection with them from years ago. Youth
Solarized
Build.
Urban Creators
Exactly.
with Serenity Solar.
See, they around. But my sister, I just don't think enough people know. And I don't got I probably got like 10 viewers or whatever. But those viewers, if they come every day, she can have a sustainable life off of that. I'm just being honest. Bring more people. But I really wanted to make sure that I let people know that you were just willing to give. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important because Black-owned businesses employ mainly Black folk. So they should be supported by Black folk in a very real way because it's a resource to our community, just like any nonprofit. It keeps money in the community to build the tax bracket with to taxpayers that's in the community. They usually have more of a political voice because they're for profit. It's just a real thing. They look for who has equity in the community to listen to. That's what we have to understand. So if we own businesses in our own community, that's a double down. We live there and we're stakeholders in a very real way because we're bringing more money and we're helping that money circulate amongst our people, which strengthens every community. One of the reasons why you can't or you're having the trouble to move Chinatown out of downtown Philadelphia. You know why? Because they have equity down there. Their money circulates down there. They have all their own businesses down there that serve their community. Do they have maladies like everybody else? Yes. You usually hurt the people closer to you, no matter what their race or ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? But one of the reasons why the 5th largest media market, the 2nd largest city on the East Coast, is having a problem with moving 2% maybe of their population out of their downtown, where they moving everybody else all over the city. This is a big thing. Why? Because they're stakeholders in a very real way. They have equity. They own. They're not renting downtown. They own these places down there. So you're not going to be able to just be able to move them any kind of way. And you have to adhere to what they want if a movement is going to happen. It's going to be a lot of negotiating, a lot of debating. You know what I'm saying? So she is somebody that makes that possible in our community. And I'll move into another environmental justice thing before I let my sister talk a little bit more. And then y'all said y'all had to go, right? So, because I need you to say something else too, Professor. So, the importance of her being a stakeholder comes from this. It's like, you look at Strawberry Mansion, right? They wanted to gentrify Strawberry Mansion as a part of the gentrification that's going on in this whole city. The reason why they couldn't gentrify Strawberry Mansion, even though they really wanted it, because they had too many homeowners. Even though these folks' homes are dilapidated, they're falling apart, they don't get the reinvestment stuff that you would get if you was in the suburbs and all that good stuff. It's like that money, it ain't new money necessarily circulating in Strawberry Mansion. But they didn't sell their homes for years. And it's a lot of them. And for that reason, you can't gentrify them. And now they are aware. So now they telling each other, no, don't sell that house. Don't let these folks come in here and change that. If this is going to change, we're going to change it. But they weren't aware of that. They just thought they couldn't gentrify. Like, it really because, and they didn't know this as a consensus. They didn't know this many people in Strawberry Mansion owned their own homes. The people who lived there didn't know this. Because we very secretive about our money and all that type of shit, which hurts us in a lot of ways. So that's the thing that makes Sabria. I say that right? Sabria? Because I know Sarita, Sabria, Sabrina, Sadias, we done messed it up. So I had to make sure I get it right. So, but that's what makes her important in the flesh. And more people like her and us supporting them. So, and she wants to support the community. Because it was a real quick ask. It was just like, and vegan food is not cheap. I know healthy food is not cheap, y'all. So, I just wanted to make sure y'all got to meet her. Y'all gonna meet her tomorrow. How that went down when y'all was texting me and they was asking me like, no, it wasn't wrong though, because I expressed the other day, I really appreciate how y'all respond. Somebody always responds to. I love that. Like, it's 11 o'clock. I'm like, I'm up. Is anybody? I'm just sitting. And then somebody respond. I'll be like, yeah, This works. And then 5 in the morning, it's like, and somebody else will respond like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, this works. I like this. I like this. You know what I mean? But I really appreciated that from all of y'all. It really showed me that everybody is like fully engaged, and we really gonna be at the end of this semester. We gonna be really proud of what we've done. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about really proud. I bet y'all. I'm gonna make sure y'all see that y'all gonna be proud of what y'all done. So, is there anything you would like to close with outside of tomorrow, 5 to 7?
Yes, and just to give more information about tomorrow. So tomorrow's event is really to build community, introduce solar, have amazing food, but we have a whole host of organizations. So the official partners for this event is Eddie's House, public service announcement, the Reentry Community Farm in West Philly.
Oh man, Stan the farmer.
And then we also have Hunting Park Community Solar Initiative, but we have speakers. So we have O from Philly Thrive talking about environmental justice. We have Pastor Dabney, who's actually going to be the solar installer in Hunting Park, but has his own organization called the Helps Ministry and runs solar classes out in West Philly. And he'll be talking about solar. We have an engineering professor from Swarthmore College giving a tutorial. Dr. Carr. Giving a tutorial on how solar energy works. So there's going to be a live demonstration there as well. And it's really, again, a time to connect as communities from all over the area and see where we can go from there as our next step. So we have the solar classes that we're offering, but this is really a chance to bring in your own ideas and see what are things that your community, your neighborhood needs, and how can we combine our resources and organizations that are a part of this collaborative to have these like goals accomplished or get started and get involved in environmental justice efforts that matter to the community.
Definitely.
And I know the students, they've done a lot of planning. Our team is we have 10 students who are working with the class, and then as well as our team outside of the class as well. So we have a big team, hence why we were able to respond at all hours of the day.
I appreciate it.
So I'll let them quickly share if they have any other details, since they put in a lot of
please.
work. And this event, I just want to say it's amazing how powerful community is when you come together. We planned this event in the last week and a half. While most of the people were away on fall break all over the country. And our organizers were busy and doing their own events. So us working together collaborative is really what made this happen.
That's the address right there. 2321 North Broad Street. Come tomorrow. Please get this information, get this skill set, network. Just come get the resource. It's on you.
We have nothing more to add, I don't think. But
no, I'm going to demand it. This is what I'm going to ask. What is your resource? Because this is a resource show. So you can tie whatever you was about to say into it, but tell me, what is your resource? Independent, like what do you think you bring? What is your resource?
What do you think I bring?
No, you.
What do
You're
I think
telling
I
me.
bring?
You're going to tie it into what you was about to say. I apologize for cutting you off, but let me know what makes you a resource.
Well, I guess what I think I make, what I think I'm a resource for, I suppose, is I guess just my willingness to come and help. And I think I speak for the entire team when I say that. We have the resources of Swarthmore College and the Good Energy Collaborative at our backs, but we also work with the Good Energy Collective, who really wants to support communities in Philadelphia. So I think we just come in with a listening perspective and also listen to these organizations Ariza talked about. We just genuinely really want to be here. And we thank you for having us on the podcast.
I appreciate y'all, man, for making me sound important. Y'all really make me sound important. I appreciate it though, like seriously. But I thank y'all, because everybody was like, not that it's over, because we got a whole semester in front of us, but everybody has been very willing. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it. And then getting to meet y'all face to face is like, okay, we can communicate in a certain way in email, and but when I meet y'all, it's still the same thing. It's still like, all right, what you need us to do? You want us to talk? We'll talk. You want us to move around? We'll move around. You want us to help? We'll help. So I feel it. I get it. I've seen it. So I appreciate y'all, man.
Of course, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I know you got something to say. I know you do.
I'll give you my big hug, so make sure you stop by tomorrow.
So come on in the camera. Come on in the camera.
All right.
Come on, you can come right here. Yeah, you right there. You wanted to do this the whole time. Anyway, it's like, no, go ahead.
I didn't.
Go ahead, I'm just playing with you. Go ahead,
Just because you said that, I'm hiding in the back.
Nah, go ahead. I gotta see you on camera though. Go ahead, come on.
2321 North Broad Street at 5 p.m. You won't regret coming. It's going to be so fun. There's really good food, really good activities, really good people. Come through. Yeah.
Come through. Did y'all get my playlist? Did y'all hear it with the play?
Oh, no,
up.
I think we got some recommendations.
Okay, cool.
There's going to be a playlist.
Yes, it's going to be music.
The whole deal.
I listen to neo soul stuff, so y'all going to get some neo soul. You know what I'm saying? You probably going to get some little bit of Kendrick Lamar. Like early Kendrick Lamar, like first, second album Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole, same thing, first, second album. You know, once they start getting a little money, the message starts sounding a little slippery to me. So, but y'all still amazing artists, so I still enjoy the music. But Earth Gang, I definitely put that on there. Just so y'all can know what my recommendations were. You know what I'm saying? I listened to Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. I do listen to newer artists like her. I like her music. I like Daniel Caesar. I don't like, some of the other stuff he got canceled. Y'all know why. Because he wasn't feeling the black women. I'm just telling y'all why he got canceled. But he's back. He's back, I guess. So, anyway. But Daniel Caesar, love his music. He makes really good music. But that's what it's going. Sabrina Claudio, I like her music. I do. I think she makes really... Sir, that's my man. I listen to that all day, every day. But that's the type of stuff that we're going to be listening to tomorrow. I'm not saying that nobody else had any input in the playlist, because they probably did, but I'm just saying my part of the playlist, when you hear that stuff, it's me. That was me. I just want y'all to know, because people will get with you about the music. If you're going to play music, they'll get with you about it. Like, what is this? All right, do you know you in North Philly? This is what we're playing. It's like, but I really appreciate y'all, man. As y'all can see, I love to laugh. I love for things to be fun and good nature, but very, very informative. Like, that's my thing, and I love good conversation, and I think that's the easiest way to teach. I believe that's the best way to teach. I'm sure there's different teaching styles and methods and all that, but conversation for me is the one. So I appreciate y'all having good conversation, being thoughtful about what y'all saying, and actually doing what y'all say, because I've been around y'all a little bit, like in the streets. He wasn't scared. He really was talking to folks, even though he got the porno mustache. I had to get that out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He got the porno mustache. I said it to him yesterday, though. It's like it's nothing new. He got the porno mustache, though. I thought he was older than he was because of the porno mustache. Nah, let me stop, man. So I appreciate y'all, man, really coming. And really, tomorrow, 5 to 7, 2321 North Broad Street. Come on out. Just in general, come to the center, man. We fill in gaps, seriously. Whatever help you need, we will get on it and we will help you in some way. So we're going to dedicate the next half an hour, because we started early. Shout out to starting early and not running into other people's time and being late. I appreciate you so much, Took. Seriously, bro. I'm saying that because this man really just was letting me go off after 6 o'clock. Like, I just was, like, it was really paid for a time. And I definitely am in debt to this brother, and it will get paid back. You know what I mean? Definitely. I appreciate it, bro. But the Brown Sugar Shack. What all right, so you said you wanted to bring the healthy food. You could put the mic and stuff on.
I'm going to pass off the mic. Thank you
because
again.
it's a mic right there. You could actually use that mic right there. But I just thought it was flowing a little better. Y'all was passing the mic around.
I think we have to slide out anyway. I'll pass you this.
They about to slide out. So you can come on, sit down. I appreciate y'all. I will be communicating. Thank you so much.
Will we be able to get any pictures from?
Oh, guys, can we take a picture?
Took, if you don't mind, he can get one of us all. He can send it to me. I'll send it to y'all. So if y'all slide back, if he ain't too busy, I hope I ain't getting him to work. Yeah. And he ain't ready to work. I don't know if he even listening to this joint right now. But he would know. No, there you go. There you go. Good looking. I appreciate you, bro. The people.
Thank you.
Yo, so he gonna send it to me. I promise y'all. That's definitely gonna get posted, just to let y'all know. But I'm gonna send it to y'all.
Thank you,
I appreciate
Jarue.
y'all. Nah,
That's
thank
great.
you. I'm a little sweaty. I was.
No, okay.
It's busy head. Nah, thank you. We gonna talk. Y'all got a lot of hard work this semester. Nah, definitely. I'm gonna be calling y'all a little earlier, just so we can keep everything up. You know what I mean? Try to do as much as we can before y'all get there. All right. So you can sit here.
Okay.
You can sit right here. Stop playing.
I need to be able to
Stop
reach the
playing.
mic short. There we go.
Stop playing.
King Rue.
The queen, like for real. Listen, dude, I just feel so. I'm glad you said it triggered something in me in a positive way, because that's some more language that we learned that y'all just abusing. Y'all fucking abusing all the language that's supposed to help us. Y'all killing it. Am I telling the truth? That's why you laughing like that. So I seen a joint. I sent it. I think I might have sent it to you too, because I gotta remember when I see a joint on Instagram when I'm tagging people in to like remember the logo. But I seen something, and it I already felt this and knew this. And my daughter has tattooed on her arm, God is a black woman. And I remember when she first got it done, she got some pushback, you know, on Facebook. The old people say, no.
Yeah.
But she knew that I would be supportive of it, because I would never tell nobody what. That's very arrogant to say what God is. No human, for real, can tell you what God is. So, but I do know that there's a universal source of power that exists, that created everything. Everything came from it. So however you want to say it just happened, or it was created, it was intelligent design, or it was the Big Bang, whatever you're trying to tell me, something greater than us created us, right?
Correct.
So I've been read about the black woman being the source of power for the black man. But I read about it more from a standpoint of the womb, the chamber of life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I also read about how all of our gods initially, until we came in contact with Europeans and Arabs, to be exact, all of our gods were women.
Yes.
Allah was once Alat. That part of Saudi Arabia was Ethiopia. So I'm like, okay, because why would they do that? So the reason why all our gods would be women, because we live in the equator, we're seeing birth all the time, we're seeing creation in the flesh, and it's always a woman.
Exactly.
So we made our gods women. They were all named women, for those of y'all who don't know. We've been very short in our, shout out to my sister Sarita. She came on the show like the second show and said something that stuck with me, and I've read that before, but when she said it, it was like right back in my face. America is really a young nation. 400 to 500 years in terms of civilization is very young.
Very young.
Extremely young. A lot of what we're going through, we almost supposed to be going through this. To see what nation or civilization we're actually going to get to. We haven't reached our zenith yet.
Yeah.
But we could destroy the nation before it gets there. But that's the thing. So I'm like, damn, that's real. So a lot of our people running around talking about, Jesus and Allah and all that stuff. That's a very real, like, kind of new concept for those people. Yes, we were Muslim when we came over. I know a lot of brothers gonna be like, no, a lot of our brothers and sisters, but we know that came from a particular slave trade as well. The Arab slave trade. That opened up the door for the European slave trade. But that's not the conversation I'm having right now. All I'm saying is that's when God became a man, because these men came from a terrain, an environment where men were God, because it was such a harsh environment. A woman can't climb a mountain the way a man can. She can't climb in a tree the way. She can't protect herself against wild animals. Not saying that a man not going to die, but it's a gooder chance that he'll survive a fight with a wolf than a woman. I'm just saying. Just anatomy. Just how my body is built. And that's a whole nother conversation about how we work together and all that and the importance of that. But God was a woman. Right. I also learned that we all start off as women.
Yes.
Biologically.
Yes.
And we turn into men.
Yes.
So if we even talking about the alien shit, the alien that came and landed on the planet was a woman. And somehow she had a baby within herself to start this whole process off. Oh, and then the oldest known bones of any human being is a black woman. Now, and I didn't mean to stutter like that. It just came out. That wasn't me trying to add emphasis or be funny. It just actually came out like that. But then I see something where they saying that women have more gray brain matter than men. And then the boy who's saying it there, I gotta go check his, but I almost know for sure that he's right, because I've read these things in other places, and he just really jogged my memory. And I remember where I looked at a black woman having power, it was initially told to me from the womb, which is very important. That's not something that I even say. But no, now I'm learning her capacity is even bigger. than mine. She can come up with, she can understand complex information better than me. She can process
faster than me.
the whole nine. So it just what it made me, because I posted it and I was like, God is a black woman then. Because if we made in the image of, everybody keep talking about we the black man God. So if you're telling me that the black man is God, which I do believe, because we're the first people and we have the ability to be very God-like, and you can't separate creation from the creator. So you can't separate me from God. If I, just like you can't separate me from my mom and my dad, it's just impossible. Just like you can't separate Suhana or Sakile from me. It just won't happen. You can't. Biologically, anatomically, you can't, even if you wanted to. They sound like me, they look like me, they're half of me. So whoever created me and created us, we have something of them in us. You know what I'm saying? So if you telling me that we're in the image of God, what a lot of my brothers like to say, and I'm talking about black men, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when black men say they God, they say it from the standpoint of black man. Yeah. Not as in the black man as in people are God. We get into the chauvinism of, you know, our oppressors. You know, we got some of that residue where it's like, you said the black man is God. And I know you're talking in general, you're talking generally. Black people, the first people where everything came from, are God. But then we kind of minimize. The black man is God. And I agree, but I think you're telling half of the story, bro. Yeah. But now, if anybody was going to stand up and say that the black something is God, it just seems, listen, I'm a super intelligent dude, I believe. And most people don't tell me that I'm not intelligent. Maybe not super, I added that. I don't care. but you know, I'm fairly intelligent. And you telling me that women have more gray matter, they have more capacity, they can truly multitask in a real way, not what we call multitasking, but truly, and I explained it to a sister earlier, and it just came to me because I'm visualizing it. She could hold the baby, cook, and be talking to me in the living room. I don't know too many men that do that. And I feel like I'm a fully capable man to do anything. So not only is she holding this baby, soothing the baby, getting that, you know, that nourishing time in with this arm and this hip, you know, because this was going on. And I'm checking this food, and I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm putting the proper shit in. I'm making sure I don't drop the baby. Those shit don't pop on the base. So I'm protecting the baby too. And I'm cooking. I'm making sure the flavor good, all that. And I'm talking to your ass, and you probably asking me for something. You probably not trying to directly help. You probably like, where is so and so? So now I'm protecting this baby. I'm nourishing this baby. I'm getting in the quality time. I'm cooking the food, and I'm talking to your ass, telling you the shit is in the drawer. I told you the shit the other day. You asked me the same question again, you know. But I don't know too many men that do that, bro. I wish that I had but I've seen women do it. It's a layup. It's not even something they think about. And that's brain power. That's kind of like when they try to tell us athletes aren't smart. It doesn't involve your brain. When Michael Jordan was doing shit that nobody else done before because of his melanin, and now kids routinely do it in high school. Everything we was amazed about. And you trying to tell me that's not brain power, that's just physicality? They had to envision it first. They had to see him do it first and then tell themselves, mental, nerves, going to that gray matter I was talking about earlier, to be able to fly. Now kids routinely fly. Routinely. They do shit Mike never even thought of. And then they seen Vince Carter and they start doing that shit too. In high school. So that's mental, bro. That's your melanin. So I had to go on that because I had to talk about it because I'm like, yo, what are we debating? It's not a debate. It don't even make me feel like I'm less of a man.
It should.
Because I think that's the feeling. Like, because even when he said it on the little the YouTube joint, not YouTube, I guess it's the YouTube, but I seen it on Instagram. The women were clapping in this like, I'm gonna say it in like this man hating kind of way. Like when he was like, for real, they was so excited. Like, and he kept it real. He was like, even when I seen that this was the case, I went and did another study, and that even gave me more. I'm trying to use a study to disprove it because I'm a man, and I couldn't even do that. So he was like, now what I realized is I'm supposed to make sure that power get harnessed and maintenance and taken care of in the right way.
Yes.
You feel me? And it's like, damn, I had to post it. I had to because it's like, we got to go home at some point. And when we first was doing this, when it was making sense to us, Our women were gods. They were the gods. I'm not telling you this. I'm not telling you this to get any closer to black women. They love me already, bro. For anybody that's just like, he just caping up for the chicks and that, they already love me. I'm sorry. They do. They love me because I love them. That's what it is. So I'm not doing this to like cape. Like, I'm really trying to, because it's a disconnect between us right now.
Yeah.
And what our roles are. And that's a plan that's keeping us behind. Our nation can't build if men and women can't get along, because if they don't get along, we can't build families.
I was going to ask, imagine us getting back to that, though.
I'm just saying. But what I do need before we talk a little bit more about the Brown Sugar Shack and why you not open later and why you ain't open on more days. And this is all predicated on my selfishness. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But because the food is good. I've been back a few times. My folks been there. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to get that out there, man, because it really stuck out to me as like really what it was telling me is we need to go back to what we was doing before they start playing with our brains.
Yeah.
And one of the things we was doing was God was a woman. Mm-hmm. And that made us understand and treat our women, this whole head of the household shit. Y'all got it all mixed up. You're the head of the household because of your physicality. Not because of no special brain thing. I know y'all like to be like, we're more logical. Some of y'all niggas are rational us to death. Because your logic with your ego might get us killed. Mm-hmm. You need me to come and rub you on your back like, baby, this ain't not right now. I'm not telling you can't do this, but this ain't the way we need to do this. You got to think about it a little bit. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we work together. The height thing. It's proven that children learn better from people who are closer to their eye level. You being short is not a disadvantage. Don't let them tell you that. Because you the first nurture. Exactly. So you need to be close to our babies so they can get the information even better. That's why you short. It's not a disadvantage. Yes. That's why you shorter than a man. Because you the first educator. That's how it equates to me. That's what makes sense to me. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So it's once we start recognizing that she is God, not in this way to allow her. It's the reason why we always keep listening to him, bro. It's like we keep listening to him. It's like balance. Yeah, it's the reason why she could say shit that make you just want to hurt her, but then say shit that make you want to kill everybody for her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a power. Like, men, we can, but not like that. Not like that. You could get a woman to be for you more. Yeah. To really get you to act on other people because like they don't move like that for real. That be us. We don't have that power to really have her like you get women to do certain things. Yes, you can. You can get a woman to do anything. She's a reflection of you. But that real, I'm going to go out here and do a bunch of stuff to a bunch of people because of her. Like, we ain't convincing them to do all that, bro. Like, it's a different movement. It's a different movement. You know what I'm saying? So again, I just took these things that came real to me and made me double down, as she said, like, God is a black woman. If there's a person being in the image of Christ, you need to be in the image of Mary, who was really Isis, who was really, was it all set? I think it was all set. Because Osiris is all Sar. So yes, she was all set. Because y'all know Isis worship came in Europe before Christianity. You understand? It's in their temples and stuff too. If you go in some of their churches,
Christianity is written around.
Yes.
That.
But because the woman was looked at as a liability in these cold and extremely hot terrains, she was the fall of man. Why would she be the fall of man? Y'all want to know? Because I have to pick her up to get away, and that jeopardizes both of us just in real time. Mm-hmm. Y'all talking about the apple and all this stuff, and I know some people gonna be like, what are you talking? Y'all talking about the apple. What they really talking about is in real time, in these environments, a woman, the way she is comprised, can be a liability. The children can be a liability. So you see people deal with people in a certain way where it's like, do the whole family die or do Billy gotta go? In real time, we in the cave. They want something to eat. Y'all can't really see. It's 4 of us in here. If we throw the baby out the cave, they'll take the baby and run. They're being fed. I know y'all don't like to believe people had to deal with decisions like that, but they actually did. And it creates a culture in you on how you look at women and children. And you see it in real time. Look at the news from Central PA. They still in the cage. Hey. But I want to know about the brown sugar shack because I don't want to go too far. The black woman is God, y'all. The brain, the womb. I don't know what the fuck to tell y'all. Like, we all start off as women.
Oh,
that's a one for me. Yeah. At first I thought it was Lucy. But then I was like, maybe the bones that was before her, somehow they moved and sunk into somewhere. We don't know. But the fact that we all start off as women first, bro, like that, and her brain capacity is more extreme than mine. It's more, what? Our ancestors already knew that. So
yeah.
So sure. Again, who are you?
I'm Sabria McGill. I'm from North Philly, but recently became a vegan once my mom passed away. I was a vegetarian for like 15 years, meaning I still was eating like dairy and milk, pizza Friday and things like that. But my mom passed away, and I learned then, because in the black families we don't, everything's a secret and things you don't find out things, but we have very bad digestive issues that are hereditary in our family, and she died due to congestive heart failure and dietary issues. And so I decided to go completely vegan. I was in DC, and I would take my kids through the drive-through, but I was so upset. Like on Fridays, like I have nothing to order. Right. It's like only thing I could ever eat was French fries. And everyone else, fries, they were good, but it's like, okay, I'm tired. I'm like, I want to drive through and get me a vegan burger or a vegan, cheesesteak. And you in DC, nobody, they call them steak and cheese. Is y'all wrong for that? Yeah, but nobody is, it's a real cheesesteak like Philly. So I said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to, start me a fast food restaurant for plant-based, because home is, you get your footing. I can move easier. I have a little more support. So that's what I did. I came home and I actually took it back to Susquehanna. I was born on 11 for Susquehanna. Born and raised 11 for Susquehanna. And came back
you
to
really
15
from
for
North
Susquehanna.
Philly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's really from North Philly. I ain't even going to go into the whole thing what it really is. But I know enough to know, because I lived on 18th and Master from 4 to 11. Yeah. I tell everybody I'm from West Philly. I'm from Southwest Philly, 52nd and Pentridge to be exact. That's where I came off the porch. That's where I became who I am. That iteration of myself, what I consider coming off the porch, becoming a man and all that. The dumb shit you do that supposed to solidify, all the good shit. I did that in Southwest Philly. I was Big Rue in Southwest Philly. Rue. You know what I mean? So I know, because I lived in the 80s. In North Philly on 18th and Master. I know that where I live at on Master Street now is not the Master Street that I lived on. And from 80 to 91. You know what I'm saying? 80 to 91. Like, yeah. That was this shit. It was real. It was real. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, no, I'm lying. From 82. From 82, because we moved from South Philly, where my folks from down 7th and Snyder, 6th and Snyder. Really, my grandmom lived on 6th Street between Mercy and Snyder, and I got a whole bunch of family that live on Whitten, Cantrell, Pierce, all up and down. Even though a lot of folks that have moved out, they completely gentrified suburban South Philly. It's a lot of dope down there now. I don't think y'all want to talk about that, but hey, it's gentrified. It's beautiful. White people on the corner drinking drinks and shooting up like y'all funny as shit, but again, you from the real North Philly. I'm from like you really from North Philly. So the beautiful thing about where you located at though too is like it's kind of the same positioning as Hibiscus in West Philly, Southwest Philly, in that University City area. It's right on the dividing line between Temple and still being in North Philly.
Exactly.
It's right on Sus, because it's a way to benefit both communities, which as far as money being made, it should be more lucrative. I don't know if the kids know about it enough. I think you need some flyers, and we can, because they got all of that other food over there right across the street.
Yeah.
And I don't think they know that you there enough. So we need to get some flyers and go into the temple. Like, y'all want to eat some healthier stuff?
Yeah.
And we need to figure out how we can get like a brown sugar shack down there on 11th Street, or is it 13th Street where they got all their little Jones at? I think it's 13th.
It's 13th.
You know, see if we can get a brown sugar shack down there.
I'm looking into a nice little modern bike cart for next year.
All right, cool. But you can't leave from Susquehanna.
No, but that's the base.
There, right?
I'm going to stay there. But Temple is just that kids graduate and they move on and things like that. So I've been open and closed since 2020. So that's all right.
Yeah, she was closed for a little bit
in the middle of the pandemic.
Heart.
Yeah,
maybe behind more than Carlita's. Because now I don't actually live that far from you coming from the other end neither. I don't mind walking. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I live on Master Street, so it's like I could walk down there. I walk to work, you know, all the time. But you give me some of your social media platforms before I ask you what's your resource. Like, tell me some of, like, where's the store at? Give them the brick and mortar, the actual address. I don't think you did that.
1432 West Susquehanna Avenue.
I was saying from North Philly. She don't even remember where
right next door to the bookstore.
The Treehouse books. Treehouse, they give away the free books there. Come get those books. It's necessary. Read is very important. Me sitting at your shop one time waiting for my food, I did see, for y'all who don't believe or y'all tell these faulty stories on purpose and we regurgitate them, I seen our children going in here after school to get books and to read. So it's telling you, for what it tells me is that is a real resource that's needed. We still read books. I seen our children.
Yes.
Not 1, 2, it was probably like 5. They came in little groups. 2, and then 1 came out. I remember it because I'm like, damn, people be feeling like our children don't read. Books are not necessary. Everybody reading online. They are reading online, but books are still important, and our children still want to read, promote that idea. Even more so, read books in front of your children, and they will have a better understanding of how important education is and why you ask them to do the things they do, because they see you doing it. So you're there, right? And you're opening your clothes, right? And me and Carlita I can't get my food all the time from there, right? But tell me your social media. What's your social media that you
It's Brown Sugar Shack _. On Instagram. That's the only
Facebook?
No Facebook.
Twitter?
I don't do Facebook. I don't.
Wow.
I haven't done Twitter since Mr. Musk took over.
All right, I got you.
So but Instagram, my Instagram actually it pops. Like everybody knows. No,
you don't pop. I'll check you out.
I'm getting beat up about Facebook. I haven't had Facebook myself in years, but I'm working on Facebook. But Instagram.
So, any other places? Do you have a website? Any other places where people can contact you, locate you, know what you're doing? Are you doing any other things besides the Brown Sugar Shack?
Yeah, so the Brown Sugar Shack is a DBA, doing business as. It's an extension from Freegan Veganish LLC. So we're in DC under Freegan Vegan. We still, like, on the weekends every now and then again, because we were there for the summer. They have something like a Reading terminal, but it's their Union station. It's called Union Market, where it's like an open market, and we kind of go there. But we in DC under Freegan Vegan. Right, so if you go on freeganvegan.com, then you'll see the other link to the DBA, which is Brown Sugar Shack. So yeah, that's where you can find us online that way, or you can find us through Instagram.
So what is your resource? Like, what? Because I remember talking to you and you was like, "No, I'm in the mix a little bit. I'm in the mix on what we doing for our people the whole night." So what's your resource?
Yeah, so my resource is basically just trying to introduce healthy food alternatives, because the reason why I call it Freegan Vegan-ish, because Rue won't tell y'all, or he may tell y'all, he really came at me the first day because he's from Hibiscus. And that's cool because I eat there as well. Right. But I'm
Hibiscus.
I'm not a real, like, a raw vegan fan of raw vegan, because I like to have fun when I eat. Right. So I do, I dip and dab, but I found that I would not eat a lot of nights because I couldn't find a way to have fun. I wanted to have fun. So King Rue came to the window like, well, how plant-based, what kind of plant-based? I heard that could be worse than regular meat. Like, come on, you got to talk to me. I'm like, okay, yes. And I do get a lot of that because I get it from both ends. I get it from the vegans,
right?
Like how you selling French fries and how you selling hoagie rolls and you supposed to be vegan. And then I get it from the other folks that don't want to eat Beyond Meat. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so
I'm not a big Beyond
and
Meat
I
person.
can't do Beyond Meat at all. So people come to me like, it's not Beyond Meat, is it? So I'm vegan-ish because I like to let everyone know right now that I'm that middle woman. Yes. Right in the middle. It's for the people that are vegan and plant-based and want to have fun, but I'm also more so for us folk who eat whatever and don't understand the benefits of letting go of the meat. Yes, letting go of the meat and letting go of the dairy and still being able to have fun. So with my plant-based, I do not do any Beyond Meat because it's giving me the bubble guts. Anything, I always taste it first. If it give you bubble guts, it's no good. Yeah, if it's something in there that don't supposed to be in there.
Nope. And I don't get that. I don't get the bubble guts a lot. Like I don't eat a lot of. I eat some stuff I ain't got no business. So I haven't sometimes been eating for a while. But it's a crazy thing. And I do want to get this out. Cornerstone Drop-In Center Food Distribution, 2321 North Broad Street, every Wednesday. Get your ticket at 10. We do tickets as a part of the line. The people in the line came up with this. So I rock with it. But don't come out 7, 8, 9. Come at 10. Formulate the line then. You'll get your ticket at 10. One more question because I can't go over. They telling me, 5 minutes. I got 4 more. I got it. So hard. So why? Like you gave me some parts of it, but why did you agree to do this for the event tomorrow at 5 at Cornerstone Drop-In Center, the solar event? Why did you agree?
Because of the give back. Like that's my main thing, and that's why everyone comes to the window. My prices are not like regular vegan stores because I want us folk to be able to eat and have a good time and experience like healthy food where they're not getting bubble guts and they're really, really being able to intake vegetables in different ways and healthy food. So the Cornerstone, it all rolls together when it comes into community. And I am a very big activist in reference to when it comes to us folk. Right. I keep saying us folk, but it's all about us folk for me. Yeah. So when you need
the black people,
that's right. When you in need, I'm gonna be right there, and it's all part of me giving back. So I'll always be available for that.
I appreciate it so much. You have to come back on the show. We'll probably come back on after the event, talk about it. Success fell. How did it go down? Did we network? Did we do the things that we were supposed to do? Listen, I appreciate you. She did it for me. We got her on the show. This is dope. Real. And I did come at her the first time. I forgot. I didn't remember. And it wasn't a negative job.
Okay. No, it wasn't.
And this is going to, because I'm trying to invest. I'm trying to see what the cart going on. I want to be about that. So listen, this is PSA Philly Service Announcement. Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Grace, Social Activism, Resources, and Art. Shout out to all my folks, all my family. Shout out to my man Duke. Shout out to Mile, the exec, Nick, Raw Cannon. Shout out to all the cannons, Carlita, Tanisha, all my kids, Yasera, Z, Walid, Hassan, Anwar, Samira, Amika, Sakile, Suhana. Yeah, you know what I mean? I know AJ. I know somebody gonna be like, you forgot me, Uncle Jarue. I love y'all. That's what we doing out here. I'm out. Yeah.